Okay, that didn't work out right, so we're going to go ahead and get started on dessert now, okay? We're going to do some bread pudding. I'm using the bread that we serve here for the bread pudding. What I've got is I've got some eggs, sugar, some of this stuff, it's vanilla extract, and I've got some yeast. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. What I've got is I've got some bread that I've already cut up, and just to show you I just take the old bread. This is actually a day old, still soft. All right, and now let's put this in the smaller bowl. In the larger bowl here, I've got 1 cup of sugar. I've got about a tablespoon of yeast, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, and I'm going to add 6 eggs. Make that 7 eggs. I'm going to add 7 eggs.
Why do you put yeast with already
I'm going to mix all this together. The yeast, what it does, right now it does nothing, but when I mix, I'm going to add some heavy cream into this, half and half rather. You can use milk, skim milk. I have a tendency to go with the heavier creams. I'm going to add half a quart here. And then I'm going to whip it in. And what happens is I'm going to dissolve the yeast and the sugar and all that. The yeast, the bread has the yeast flavor anyways, but I like the extra, just a little extra berry kind of yeast flavor that you get when you add a little extra yeast. It's just the difference between that's good and that's pretty good. What is that? You know, it doesn't make a real big difference, but it's just for the flavor. All right, so I've got all the eggs beat. The sugar is pretty much dissolving into the eggs and cream. And as you mix, the yeast will stick out to the side of the bowl. And you just keep mixing it. I don't know if you can see it, but you just keep mixing it till the yeast is gone. And that's how you can tell it's dissolved in. All right, now I'm going to add my bread into that. And I'm going to just keep adding and mixing this up until all of the cream and eggs are soaked up. Now I'm eyeing this, and depending on the bread, because as most of you know that have been here before, I don't really measure anything. And this bread is looking a little bit drier than I was hoping for, so I'm going to add just a little bit more half and half to it so that it can soften up and it'll soften up and soak up the bread. All right. So now while that's soaking up the liquid, I'm going to go ahead and start the sauce. I'm going to use the other half of half and half, which that's not quite it. But I was prepared this time. So far, we'll see what I forget. All right, so that's a half. I've got it's half and half. It's a half of a half and half. Yeah. I'm going to add some lemon juice to this. Vanilla. A couple of tablespoons of vanilla, probably 4 tablespoons of lemon juice, and a cup of sugar. Now, I'm going to heat this, and before this gets too hot, or before it even actually gets hot, I'm going to add just a little bit of flour. Again, we're using that to thicken it. This time we're going to cook it in the sauce from a cold point and make like a slurry out of it. A slurry is when you add a liquid to your thickening agent and then heat it rather than going from the other direction. I'm going to add just a little bit more. And what this will do is it'll thicken it up really very, very thick. Once it hits 180 degrees, it's like that. It's hot. turn this down a little bit and let that simmer or heat. And I'm just going to take this, it has soaked up most of it, and I'm going to put it into a casserole. And again, this could use a little bit more cream in this, or milk, but it looks pretty good. Okay, can you see that? Perfect. Up there, okay. Now, since we are doing, in theory, yep, that's good. I'm going to use Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort because it's Mardi Gras, right? I'll just use it there. I'll use a little bit more Southern Comfort. Well, I'll use a little bit more Southern Comfort. All right, there we go. So now I didn't have it. Yeah, right. Now I didn't have the had everything but the staff ready. Can I have that bread pudding? Thank you. And a spoon. I've got. Thank you. And a plate. All right. So we've got this sauce going. It's warm. I'm going to turn it up. It'll bring it right up to 180 quick. There's the bread pudding out of the oven. Okay? Can use any bread you want, but we use the old bread here. So I'm going to take a scoop of that out. I'm going to put it right on the plate. This isn't quite hot enough, but you'll see it once it hits temp. I just baked that. I baked that bread pudding. I probably baked it 25 minutes at 350 degrees. All right, there it is. I don't know if you can see it. It's getting right there. And then all you do to serve this, you can serve it with whipped cream if you'd like, but I think there's enough cream in there. And we just pour a little bit of that sauce, that Southern Comfort sauce, right over the bread pudding. And there it is. And that's it. Okay? And we're going to serve it. Yeah, look at that. Look at how just then it just turned into, see that? Beautiful. All right. Yep. And that's it. We'll get some dessert out to you. All right?